It's just some things you can't do no more, and some places you can't go no more. Some things you say you can't say anymore.
On Bourbon Street or not, but
Corinthians said this is oil. It's probably big. What is bigger?
It's just some things you can't do no more, and some places you can't go no more. Some things you say you can't say anymore.
on Bourbon Street or not, but
Corinthians said this is oil. It's probably big. What is bigger than oil? This thing is diamonds. Like it's like so massive.
Not gonna do this with y'all. Y'all not gonna. This is cyberbullying, right? It's just some things you can't do no more, and some places you can't go no more. Some things you say you can't say anymore.
on Bourbon Street or not, but
Corinthians said this is oil. It's probably big. What is bigger than oil? This thing is diamonds. Like it's like so massive.
Not gonna do this with y'all. Y'all not gonna. This is cyberbullying, right? What's up, man?
hey, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Man, I cannot complain, Corinthian. I cannot complain.
It's been a minute.
Trying to get back into the swing of things, pressing buttons.
Yeah. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute, Corinthian, man. What's up, man? Welcome to Kicking It with the Kellys, everybody.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for kicking it with us. I know, we gone, but we back.
But you know how the season finales go and things like that, and then you come back. It might be a couple of weeks, months. But nah, Corinthian, I'm happy to be back, man. Corinthian, can you believe it is a leap year for us?
It's leap year 2024. I can't believe it's 2024. You talking about leap year? It's 2024, man. It's crazy.
2020. Did you remember Y2K?
Oh yeah. I was in the 8th grade. Was you a freshman in high school during Y?
Corinthian, I was. So no, I wasn't a freshman. So Y2K. So I got to high school in. Yeah, no, I was a freshman in high school in 99, 2000. Yeah.
I was in the 8th grade at Gildersleeve.
Yeah.
Y2K.
Do you remember, obviously for New Year's, we went to church.
Yeah.
And do you remember where we were?
Which church we was at?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We was at World Outreach Worship Center.
No, Corinthian. We were in between churches at that time, and we had went to the church. It's off of Demi Boulevard.
Michael Wilson Church.
No, it wasn't even his church. It was a church off of Demi Boulevard, and we were there. I think Campbell might have been his name. And I remember that vividly because, we thought everything was going to shut down and the computers wasn't going to work anymore. Now, we didn't have a computer, so that didn't apply to us.
No way. It wouldn't have affected us no way, but still,
Nah, that's crazy. It's 24 years later.
Wow. It didn't. I wasn't even putting it in those kind of terms until you said it. Yeah.
Right. We're 24 years later from that, where they didn't have a answer to how the zeros was going to go on the clocks and and the computer. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. So 24 years later, and Corinthian, so I turned 40 this year.
Arthur, I was about to say, Arthur, if that's 24 years later for you in high school and stuff, you getting up there, bro.
Corinthian, man, I'm about to be 40. That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I just last year I celebrated my 20-year high school reunion.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow. But that
yours
so
should be this year.
mine is this year then. So you turned 40 this year. Tasha turned 40 this year. It's crazy, man. It's
Wow, man.
crazy.
Correct. Oh,
Yeah.
what was I about to say? So hold on. Are you gonna go to your high school reunion?
Um, well, I
Are y'all planning something? Do you know? Have you talked to anybody?
that I don't know. Y'all had a see for folks that's on Woodside has always been on some different stuff in terms of organization and in terms of marketing, all that kind of stuff. They excelled at because they were the arts magnet. So there was a nice flow of information. I mean, now if you from around my way, I remember seeing Arthur school yearbook. When I saw the yearbook, it almost made me want to switch over,
All
but I
right,
just
man.
couldn't.
Be
I
quiet.
couldn't because of the colors and stuff. But I mean, it was all colorful in our yearbook. It just was not the same. So the rollout that y'all had, I saw y'all's rollout. You was involved in a lot of the publications and informing people, but I don't know where we're at in the process. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I don't know if I would make the trip.
Well, one thing, when I left, growing up, I remember shows like Family Matters um and they were like I guess Living Single and things like that. And I remember, them having like high school reunions. I remember, A Different World where they had a reunion, things like that. So homecomings. So I always wanted to experience that. So
Yeah.
for our 10 year, I definitely wanted to go to that. Now, when I was in high school, I wasn't a senior class president or vice president, or I
Okay,
wasn't
okay. A
a
class officer, a
yeah,
class
class
officer. Yeah.
officer.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to have something. And so, we had our 10 year, and I thought that was very good. It was a 3-day event, and I thought they did a really good job.
Wow.
For our 20 year, there was some chatter and some people that wanted to do it, but the president, he didn't do it, but the vice president, she was involved. So they put out like a little survey on things, and people responded to the survey. But then when it was time to meet, you know how it goes.
Oh,
Nobody
absolutely.
is all all
The,
chatter.
the same like when you planning for a trip. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? When you planning for a trip, day one, everybody say they going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody was
but
on board and everything. So after that meeting, I was like, okay, I'll get involved. Now, I'm not saying, in high school, I think I was just a cool dude. Like, I could talk to anybody. I was in the band. So in most schools, you have band geeks. But see, our school was the magnet school. So I was only there because of music. Um, if not, I would have went to, Denby. So I had to forge my own way at the school because I didn't know anybody. I just knew a couple of people, just a small amount of people that also were in the magnet, and my first introduction to Woodside was band camp. Band camp, I met the friends that I have to this day. I met on the first day of band camp.
yeah, yeah.
And so that was that. And then so we had our 10 year, and then 20, I got on the meeting. Then I was like, well, let me go ahead on and get involved with this planning process, because I have a mindset that, if I start something, I want to finish it. And then I was like, man, I'm gonna try, maybe my pull, maybe my connections will get some people here, things like that. So we end up having our event, and it turned out well in my estimation. I wish there were more. I do wish it was more people, but Corinthian, we had we had a lot come from California. I
Wow.
mean, we had like four of our classmates and their spouses or whatever come from Cali. We had Arizona, we had Texas, we
Yeah.
had Georgia, I mean
Wow.
Jersey, Florida,
What?
all come back. So it was pretty cool.
Man, that's so dope, man. Y'all got school spirit and all that kind of stuff, man. Um, or there's a lot that happened in 20 years.
Yeah, a lot happened,
Tw-
man.
20 years, it's a lot that can transpire through that. So the fact that you still got like one thing that we be taking for granted, man. I know it's folks that you went to high school with that ain't seeing
Yeah,
40. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Didn't
yeah,
make it to see
yeah.
certain ages, man. That and unfortunately that's a sad reality for me as well. So man, we got a lot to be grateful for,
Well,
thankful for, man.
yeah, we had a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot, but we honored those classmates that are no longer
Wow.
here with us. So that was
Yeah,
pretty cool. But Quentin, let
yeah.
me ask you this: for a reunion, if you get an invite, if something is going on, what
Yeah.
would be some of the reasons that you would not want to participate in your class reunion? Obviously, especially a milestone of 20 years. What
Yeah.
would what would make you or someone else say, "Nah, I'm gonna sit this one out"?
Well, I mean, now
If you got an invitation, if there was
it,
something planned, yeah,
if you got an invitation to something was planned, now you have to think now there's some people that are local. It to me it's two different it's two different factors. If you local and decide that you're not gonna go, that's a separate set of reasons than
mm,
if you abroad. You got folks that might be overseas now. You
yeah,
got folks that's in different states. So, those are all factors. And then, the reality is that 20 years later, everybody is not as happy with where they progressed 20 years
mhm,
later. So, I mean, do I want to come around? Like, if I don't feel like I'm mentally or physically where I want to be, am I raring to go and, see folks? Because, a part of that is seeing where everybody at. Where
yeah,
you
yeah,
landed, how you
yeah,
doing now? You
yes,
see what I'm saying? So I mean, Arthur, you've been blessed in this past 20 years. So you see what I'm saying? Now, would you have been raring to go if you was down bad or in some hardships right now?
right.
You see what I'm saying? So I can understand why everybody don't come. You, but I can also see why it's people like, well, why would you come? It's from that mindset. Yeah,
Yeah, no, thanks for that. Because I struggle with that being on the team and then reaching out to folks and they talking about they not coming. I'm like, what you gonna be doing? What you got going
yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
1 year. We pre-planned this thing. You have ample time.
yeah.
I'm just thinking about like how do people plan trips and things like that. But I understand everybody's priorities are not the same, and like you said, everybody one they didn't talk to a lot of people in high school, so they're not going to talk to them now. And then, or
This, this,
go
this
ahead.
is something we're talking about. The reality is, some people's high school experience they don't want to relive.
Yeah,
Like, so,
yeah,
we're the kids talking about. Well, we had a good like. Some folks that got horror stories from high school. That
right,
was the
right,
worst time in their awkward time. They couldn't find their tribe. You
right.
know. So I can understand we're sitting from the perspective where we actually did pretty good in high school. You see what I'm saying? And and
Yeah,
and then did pretty good in some other spaces and
yeah,
are in a good space 20 years, later, which is a blessing. I don't want
yeah.
to, discount that. So yeah,
No, thanks for that perspective. But I will say I'm never going to be on a planning committee again. I'm not going to say. Let me not say never. But that's just too much. When you have stuff going on and you trying to plan for folks,
Man,
that
Arthur,
that
I man,
yeah.
Arthur, the fact that you did that, see, I have a great appreciation for parents,
Mm,
for single parents, for like I think about all the stuff that I got going on, that Tasha got going on.
yeah.
We don't have no kid. We be missing stuff
Yeah.
without that, you know, and like,
Yeah, yeah.
man,
Nah,
yeah, man,
Corinthian, nah. It's really it's not parenting is not for the faint of heart. And marriage is not for the faint of heart.
man,
Um,
man,
it takes some strong-willed individuals to, you know, get on the same page, you know, and you got to be able to lead and you got to be able to follow as well. Um,
man.
and if you don't, it's just going to be, pretty bad for you because their life happens in so many
Life,
different ways.
life be life, and bro.
Life be life in Corinthian. I was watching something on Instagram and talked about the World Trade Center and then we can get on to the rest of our program. Um, it it highlighted about 5 individuals on the day of 9/11, and these individuals, one was spilled some coffee on them, and so they had to change. So they took some time to change their clothes. If not, they would have been in the trade centers. One, they had to go get some donuts for the office, so they took a
Wow,
detour. One, they got a flat tire. One, it was so much traffic that they just pulled over and just waited it out. Well, pretty much it was ultimately saying all of them were saved because they did that. And when we think that we are late or we are missing something, or it could be God has us right where He wants to have
yeah,
us.
man.
So don't take for granted the times that yes, of course, nobody wants to oversleep. Nobody wants to be late. Nobody wants that, but
Wow,
don't take for granted some of those instances because it could have saved your life.
wow. Yeah, nothing else needs to be said. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Kia? How you doing, girl? Hey, you tried and true.
Oh,
Tried and
she
true.
a day one supporter,
Day
supporter
one,
since day
day
one.
one never fails.
We three
She gonna hold us
seasons in,
down.
holding us down. You
Gonna
know,
hold us down. Corinthian,
keep it.
happy Black History Month, man. It's February 29th, and we definitely wanted to have a
Look,
show for Black History Month.
since we had an extra day, man, I had to get
Day.
extra. You see me I'm wearing a first gen entrepreneur
Shout
shirt.
out to Dr.
Shout out to
Ely
my
Kelly.
wife. She made the shirt for me. Now this is a large. I'm a medium build, but this is a large, just a
Yes.
little.
So
But
a
it's
little
all good.
UK.
But it's all good though.
See, where I
You
used to
know.
get, you had broad shoulders. I was like, okay, I got that, but no, I don't wear large. People be trying to give me.
Hey
Great, I
Arthur.
hate when they only have a large.
Arthur, man, large. You be wanting to wash it so it shrinks some or do something. But Arthur. But then on the flip side, 20 years ago,
That's what
we got 3X. Why did we do that?
What were we
What
thinking,
was we
man?
thinking, man? But it's just like the kids, today they gonna look back years later and be like, man, what was we thinking? I
No,
got
but
on the
looking back, I obviously we talked 20 years ago. I graduated from
yeah,
high school, but I look back, I can't even fathom now wearing that big of clothes because,
it's
you
just so
know,
much extra material. That's just a
yeah,
waste of material, first of
yeah,
all.
man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
it was the style though, man.
It was the style. It was the style for a season.
Yeah,
We didn't know it was done. Think about the basketball players, the basketball shorts.
sure,
And
Corinthian.
I mean, it's looking at some of the game. It's like what, but we all did it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's the
yeah,
thing.
but we all did it, and so now I'm just thinking. Oh, and I want to somebody Kia. Oh, she got my shirt. Black Man Smile. This is a brand, Black Man Smile. Thank you so much, honey. We got props and everything.
Where you get that? Where you get that from?
Correct. Kiel gonna have to put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. No, hey Arthur, no, you've been holding out, man. I didn't seen you.
No, correct. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
What's up,
man?
Mike?
Let's take a walk, baby.
Let's take a walk. Okay, I that's okay. Say no more. I'm gonna be up in
You know, Target does their Black History Month.
They do. They
special, so,
but we need to support after Black History Month.
Yeah.
We need it continuous. We need it support. You know,
correct. I agree with you, man.
24/7, 365. No, I saw you had a watch on. Hey, Arthur, did you?
Spring break.
That
Black owned.
Arthur, the folk out of North Carolina.
Out of North Carolina, correct. They doing their thing, correct. All their stuff sold. I'm trying to get some more colors, but they sold out. So
did you bought it online or from the store?
Yeah, I bought it online. Corinthian, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell some y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all my little secret. So I had never heard of Afterpay.
I haven't heard of Afterpay.
Okay, well, I had never heard of Afterpay. And let us know if you do use Afterpay. But I used it for the first time for watches. I just got them. But it's pretty sweet. Now, I don't know what happens if you don't pay.
What is it?
Pretty much you don't have to pay. Like if you're, let's just say something is $100, you just pay 20 on it. But like in six installments or four, or however, every 2 weeks you have to pay. So it's like layaway, I guess.
Okay.
It's Afterpay, but it's not based on like. Okay, there we go. It's layaway.
Okay.
But it's no interest. I don't know if it's interest or not. Corinthian, I just used it because everybody was talking about it.
But how do they get their profit then? If you don't do it, they must got you on the.
They ban you like Uber. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Afterpay allows you to break your payment up into 4 equal payments, but you get your merchandise immediately. Yeah, I got my stuff correct.
So do they get their profit through advertising? Like I could see they getting a lot of folks coming to their whatever platform. Are they getting paid? Like they got to get their ends from somewhere because it's a great idea.
Yeah, no. If somebody knows the answer to this, please let us know. But I will use it again. Because it was just a seamless process, and if you didn't want to, give all your money
front,
knowing that you get paid in another 2 weeks or whatever, I don't know. It probably works out.
Look, I hope airlines adopt Afterpay.
No, I think airlines do have Afterpay, Corinthian.
Hey, Arthur, man.
Back to the watches. I'm sorry, we going on a tangent.
Okay, all right. We'll talk offline.
Let us know if do the airlines have Afterpay? I've never used it, so let us know. But yes, Corinthian, spring break. Thank you, honey, for putting me on.
I heard of them. I saw them on like Oprah or something like that, man. The colors, the whole, and they out of I think North Carolina.
Yeah, and on their watches they have like North Carolina, some state places. Yeah. Do they make you give your bank info? Ooh, good question. Did I have to give Mike? I'm not even sure. Wow. I just had to use my card. I used my debit card. Okay. Yeah, and they just took it out automatically. After for that second and third and fourth installment. And one time, because I got a few watches now.
Hey, Arthur, if you got
that, change my bank number, and then they sent me an email saying you got to update this, and I did that. Oh, they make it too late.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was figuring they gonna get it somehow.
Okay.
But so, Arthur, do you have the they got a sweet potato color one? You got one of them on order? It's
sold out, Corinthian.
As soon as I saw that,
I'm trying to
Saw
get
that
all
sweet
the colors
potato.
correct because
Yeah.
somebody asked me what watch you got on. I was like, oh yeah, this is
Yeah. Oh no, I saw it. Because you kept putting your arm. I was like,
all right. You
know
know how when girls get an engagement ring and they just be talking
oh,
with
they
their hands
be.
and stuff.
Oh my goodness. I've never seen so many hands rest your digits.
Yeah.
Rest them in your lap like they normally be. No, but that's
Kia, you just man, listen, man, don't hey man,
you got
listen.
the collector's box. Okay.
Don't
Okay. All right. Arthur's collector watches. Look, anybody that grew up in the 90s, you know when Burger King had the rug watches. You remember how they was collectibles?
Correct there. Them things at Burger
Them things at Burger King. Arthur's assembling the Infinity Gauntlet of
shout out, I'm leveling up. This is gonna be the year.
Arthur, you gotta watch, but see, you don't just lay it on the dresser like everybody else. I just lay my stuff on the dresser. I see, but it's levels. When you get nice stuff, levels. You gotta.
Yeah,
levels, man. I ain't mad at you, bro.
Nah, correct. Shout out to my friend Mike and Carla, man. I went over their house one time, and Mike had a butler. Now, you would think, okay, no wait, he got a butler. Now, the butler is where you hang your suit jackets and your shirts and your ties and all this stuff for the outfit that you're gonna wear the next day. And I was like, what is? I was like, yo.
See,
it put everything in perspective when you be seeing stuff.
No. What that does, I'm gonna tell you what that's doing, America. Those are called first world problems. See, I have a butler at my house. It's called a rack.
Yeah,
that's the butler. And you just when you got you. And I'm not mad at none of it.
Yeah, I won't correct. All I can do is like, man, that's nice.
Because they lay it out right there for you.
You let it
fall.
Let it fall.
I don't used to say that. You had your stuff and just let it fall.
Let it fall, Chris. Yeah. Now, Corinthian, this is a question for the chat. Because we got to move on. We got so much to talk about. But do you iron or do you just put it in the dryer on wrinkle free? What you do?
So it depends on where I'm going and then what it is. Like if it's t-shirts like this and I'm going to a sporting event, I'm not worrying about ironing like that no more. I'm not.
Okay.
But if I'm going to a meeting or things like that, actually, let me tell you, because of a lot of my work clothes, professional attire, I take myself to dry cleaner.
Okay, so shout out to I take my clothes to dry cleaners. Now it's a hefty bill for me, but it's one I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
And Kia gets on me because I take my stuff to the dry cleaner. And I'm sorry, I'm telling you this right now, man. And this is my little secret. I even take my jeans to the dry cleaner sometime. Now I ain't getting no pleat, no like.
Yeah. We're not from Cali. We're from the East Coast.
Yeah. We from the East Coast, so I even do that. It just saves me a lot of hassle, man. I can just put my stuff on. And I'm not for that washing the clothes first thing because they get dingy to me. And I'm like, what y'all?
It loses its luster. I'm not. No. Nope. Not doing it. Now, my wife, on the other hand, is totally different.
Yeah, Kia too. Kia too. What's
up, OJ? What's up, man?
How you doing?
What's up, bro? What's up?
You have to wash the chemicals off. No, it loses. It loses its savor.
No. Look, y'all know how them jeans, them deep blue wash jeans, everything blue will be in the
everything
house.
Gonna be blue on your Air Force
No, man. No, and you know how we grow up, and folks, different levels of germ tolerance and stuff like that. Some of them jeans in high school, some of them jeans ain't seen though. What you try? I'm gonna just be real.
Correct.
That's real.
Very real, but then when you start to iron them, they got a little smell, a little
It's gonna rise,
and that's when
that smell's gonna rise. That's when you know it's time.
That's when you know that something is wrong.
That's real. And then look, by the time you get to college, you start hitting the Febreze with it. And stuff like that. Because
see, that's why you can call me bougie and stuff like that, but I'm taking my clothes to cleaners because one is everybody. I'm not looking for the response, but the response I get is different from somebody that didn't take their clothes to the cleaners.
Man, that's
so
real.
So that's what I'm looking for. More women try on clothes than men. Oh, okay, Quentin, do you try on when you get something? Do you try on clothes?
Actually, well, this is when it depends. It depends.
Okay.
If it's not a brand that I'm used to, like I know the cut of certain stuff. When I go on H&M, I know the cut, I know the size I need to get and stuff like that. So, man, I'm different. I do not like shop like Arthur. If I had it like that, where I could pay a buyer. Shout out to my little sister Veronica because she's done this for me.
Okay,
here, I'm gonna give you this and go get it. I trust you. I would do that.
You talking like this because you got all those degrees behind you. So it's levels to it. See, when you start seeing we talking about butlers, buyers.
No, Arthur got a watch box. Y'all see my brother watch box. Still don't like. I don't think I'm gonna get to that level. It's gonna just be laid out.
They're gonna be laid sprawled. See, I got kids. They be trying to. Blake wore my Apple, and I told you this before. But Blake wore my Apple Watch to school, and I was like, "What is going on?" So I gotta lock them up and stay.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Correct. For Black History Month, did you do anything special? As you know, I chair our diversity, equity, and inclusion task force for my job, and so for this month, we just we highlighted quotes from some notable African Americans. So we highlighted them each day, and we did social media. So my organization really liked it. We got a lot of positive feedback from our Black History Month initiatives. But we're always looking to grow and get better. But that's something we did. One of the quotes that I'll just name, Amanda Gorman, I think was one of my favorites. There's always light if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it.
Shout out to her. That's the one that spoke at the inaugural. Yeah. She did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. Phenomenal job.
So some of the things that I did this month, I'm involved in a couple of different initiatives through my job, and we had a Active Readers Tomorrow's Leaders program. It was a reading program where you could spend 20 minutes reading at a local elementary school. So, man, I had a chance to go up and read 3 times this month. My little sister, shout out to Veronica, that read this month as well. My wife Tasha read at the school this month, and even big bro Daryl read.
Y'all better be the Rainbow Coalition.
Oh man, Arthur, it was a blast, man. Arthur, when you a guest reader, and you might know this, when you go up in a school as the guest, especially at the elementary school, you would think that you would think a rock star, like it's the. I don't know if there would be any difference. Well, at least for me.
Yeah.
And then Veronica as well. Like, I mean, the love that you get, the energy that you get off the kids, man, the cuteness factor of the kindergarten, first grade, second grade, man. My little sister went up there the other day, read to the kids. to a group of third graders. They done wrote her a handmade
Yeah.
thank you card, like, and gave it to her in real time. It got misspellings and hearts on and stuff like
Yeah.
that, man. It was one year I read to the kids. They After I finished, the kids asked for my autograph. I
Yeah.
was like, man, it just, man, it's power and presence,
Yes.
right?
Oh, I like
And
that.
this
Right.
month is so important for especially young people that look like us to see us not when we grandparents age, but in real time that can get right rhythm. Um, I I just felt that it's important. So
No, man, shout outs, kudos to y'all, man, for doing that for y'all's community and man, and always being a beacon out there in Wichita, Kansas. You know, that's amazing. I also ventured out into the school. Well, you already know I work in the schools, but
yeah,
I was invited to be the guest speaker for Black History Month at Hugo Owens Middle School and Corinthian. It was eighth graders, and
wow.
I just say we had a good time. uh,
So let me tell y'all, because if y'all haven't seen the video, I think you posted on your social. I didn't when the video dropped. I was looking away from the video and just heard the cheering, and I was thinking like the way folks was cheering, man, you would have thought Chris Brown had just walked out and did something how loud the cheering was. And then I had to watch the video. And then I proceeded to watch it and my brother did the four quarters with the kids. And I was like, man, Arthur's used this four-quarter paradigm. He's used it at my wedding.
Yeah,
Arthur's
yeah,
done it at multiple spaces, man. But just the energy, man, I could hear it coming off the video, man.
yeah.
I'm not surprised too.
Yeah, no,
So
Corinthian. It's funny that you mentioned that, man. I've been trying to shake it. I've been trying to shake the four quarters, but it won't let me go, man.
yeah, no,
Um,
that's thick.
it
Yeah, you
it
did.
won't let me go, and Corinthian, I'm just finding so many people are receptive to the message because it's really a message and how to maneuver through life and those kids, man, they really, I believe, got something from it, and I know they got something from it because every day since then, since February 17th, or
Wow.
when I did it, every day since then I have run into someone that was either at the event
Mm,
or their parent,
wow.
and they would say, and I'm not making this up whatsoever. I'm even going to show you something that happened today. They come to me and say, um, so I coach Blake's basketball team, and his teammate, his sister goes to Hugo, and
Mm,
the mom came. She said, Coach Kelly. No, well, no. The son comes up to me and say, Coach Kelly, you were at my sister's school today.
wow.
She loved it. You did the four quarters. I was like, wow, she told it. And then his mom comes. She was like, yeah, she came home talking about it. She came home talking about it. All right. So then I'm at Blake's friend's birthday party. All right. And it's two girls in there. I never seen the girls. Well, they were sisters of Blake's classmates. They go to Hugo. They was like, are you Coach Kelly? You were at our school. Like, and so they just have ate it up. And then today, Blake's teacher, Baylor's teacher, her son goes to Hugo, and she was like, he came home talking about it. And I
Wow.
was like, wow. So that made me feel good, but also it just reminded me that I need to keep that focus,
Yeah.
because I think it's a powerful message, and they just resonated with it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just signs that you got to keep doing it more. So that was just one school that you was at, but there's
yeah,
plenty of schools that need to hear that message that it'll resonate.
most
You
definitely.
know. there. You
Thank you,
know,
thank you, Kia. Thank
thank
same to
you. Really
you.
appreciate it.
You know, Kia. I'm Kia. You know, Kia did community baby showers. Kia. You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Corinthian
But
Black History Month, man. For this, there's been some things that happened last year. I think when in season 2, we had the Montgomery, the
oh,
the
that's a national
massacre
holiday. It's a national holiday.
is a
It's a
national
national
holiday,
holiday. It's a day of celebration.
a day of
Yes,
celebration,
it's a day of
and we had
celebration.
to
Yeah.
maneuver through that. But this year, there's a couple of hot topic items that I just want to see if we can address really quickly. One, the Cam Newton situation, and then two, Lakewood Church. As we know, if anybody knows Lakewood, that is Joel Osteen's uh, church out in Texas, and then the Cam Newton situation. I'm not sure where it happened, but he did. He was out there for a 7-on-7 camp, and yeah, man. If you want to just quickly touch on those.
Hey man, Arthur, man, why you gonna get me started, man? Why you gonna get me started? Uh, with the Cam Newton situation, if anybody saw it, like there's video of Cam Newton at one of his 7-on-7 flag football camps out in Atlanta, where it appears that he getting jumped, and there was a lot of speculation on is it campers that jumped him. Come to find out, or what I've heard in reporting, it was some of the coaches.
Mm,
And camp, well, it's two things. The funny thing is that whoever Cam hat is, I got on my Coach Prime bucket hat. Cam hat ain't moved not nary. I mean, it looked like it's three people on top of it. His hat didn't move an inch. So
was
Cam,
like, man, hey, season 3, baby, we back. we
Cam
back.
held his own. But when I watched that video, Arthur, I was so angry inside because why do we go out of our way to hurt, disrespect, attempt to hurt or disrespect us? Folk that look like us. It's us hurting us sometimes. And that is it's a great, like, why do we feel comfortable? And when I'm saying we, as you know, if it don't apply to you, you don't take it personally, don't internalize it. But why do we feel comfortable disrespecting another black male,
Yeah,
man, or woman? I have issue with that. Like, to me, it's off code behavior. If Even if there was a disagreement between those gentlemen, Cam and them gentlemen, they can talk about it,
right.
especially when you at a camp, in a public camp in front of kids. And then I would say take it a step further. If you do at that point you talk it out and you got then put on boxing glove behind. Like, what I'm saying is it's a way that you can deal with conflict when you talking about folk that look like you.
Yeah,
Like, and because I would say, all right, if what Cam did was done by Peyton Manning to those guys, would they have jumped him?
right.
And you know, and I know the answer to that. They wouldn't have none of that. Then
Yeah,
I'll take it a step further. When we are so hot headed when it comes to disrespect towards us. I mean, disrespect words have ended up getting people shot and killed,
yeah,
and over words, right?
yeah,
Now, this is the question I'm gonna ask: has there been disrespectful words given by other people that don't look like us? And what has been the response? Has the same smoke been given to anybody else? This, like, I'm gonna say, if the smoke has been consistent, okay. But if the smoke ain't been consistent, I got questions. And then if that's the case, then I'll say this: well, why George Zimmerman still walking around?
Yeah.
Or why you know, I hate to go that extreme, but you know, if by disrespect, them words is that disrespectful, or actions that I've seen in community at jobs, I done seen folk talk crazy to folk, and
Right.
I've never seen that kind of response.
Right.
So
Correct. The the phrase "sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me."
yeah,
I struggle with this. I think because me and you, a lot of stuff can uh, it bounces off of me and sticks back to you. what you say bounces off of me and sticks back to you. We I don't get too emotional or too hurt with words. I don't. But I can be understanding of those who might, have an emotional battle with what was said and or how it was said to them. I get that. But when we come to fisticuffs and fighting, what are we fighting for? So
yes,
when you just said like respect, what is respect? What does respect look like to you? And the question that I would ask is, if you don't respect Cam Newton, who do you respect? Especially in our community, or who do you respect in general?
yeah.
Now, if you're going to say, well, I don't respect no man, I just respect God, I respect Jesus, are you living your life that way? Like, so I'm trying to see, what is your litmus test or your low level tolerance for respect? Like, who taught you what respect was? Where are you getting this formulation of what respect is? And, why do you feel the need to fight somebody if they said something or did something or did not conform to what you wanted them to do?
But I I'll see why I have such a visceral response to everything that happened. This is Cam's camp. I mean,
Yeah.
Cam Newton does not have to do a camp
No.
for kids.
Right.
He don't have to do that.
Right.
He just don't. I mean, Cam could be sailing around the earth right now with the money he's made, rightfully earned from his amazing football career,
Right.
professional football career. Cam Newton has won on every level that he's played in. You're talking about an NFL MVP.
Yep.
You're talking about a Heisman Trophy winner. You're talking about a national champion in college football in the SEC. You're talking about a junior college champion. I mean, the man has won every year at the toughest position in professional football.
Yep.
He then, after he retires from a great career that many of us would, just a fraction of what he's done, we would be set, right?
Right.
He then is still finds a way to try to give back and be involved in this. Understanding these camps, it's his brand. He's the draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not coming to the random coaches camp. I'm coming to Cam Newton's camp because and then Cam Newton is there.
Yes.
So for that to happen right there, like, I mean, I couldn't wrap my mind around the audacity. Like, I I just couldn't. Can you read that out? Cause
Yeah. Yeah. They're very, very good. Van Dyke said, I respect any man that truly is himself. Every man has to be truly who they really are as a man. There are men out here who are trying to be like someone else, and that may be due to not having a father figure in their life. one thing I cannot stand is a man trying to be something they are not.
Yeah, that's yep. You,
No,
you,
yeah,
yeah,
no, it's true.
but see, it's danger to Chico point. It's danger trying to be something you're not. See, when you trying to be something you not, you gotta prove like there's no limit to what you gotta do to try to prove
Right.
you that tough. Like once you create this tough person paradigm, you gotta protect that.
Yeah.
So that means you gotta be tough all the time.
Yeah, correct. And we've seen it play out. I mean, even growing up where we grew up, we saw the ones that had to be tough all the time. There, you didn't see a soft side. And obviously, you would say, where were their fathers? So the question is, where were their fathers? Where are the fathers? Where are the father figures? And where are the men that those guys or these boys respect? And yeah,
Yeah. See, Arthur. Now you're blessed to be a father. I'm not blessed to be a father, right? Now this is I want to hear your thoughts on this. I would say one of the main jobs of a father teaches his sons, especially, how to appropriately channel, harness anger,
mm, yeah,
because that is an emotion that's going to come up, but it has to be harnessed and checked.
right,
Arthur, you can be mad every day, right? But it takes someone to say, well, just because you mad don't mean you can go out, haul off and hit somebody when you don't get your way, right? That has to be taught and instead, like if no one checks that, where do you go? Like it if you do it and no one corrects it and stops it and channels it and say, nah, you gotta do something different, you will get someone that will shoot somebody over words. That's what
yeah,
happens when you don't check that, right?
correct, correct,
Then also it's that balance of, is it worth it? Is this the hill I'm willing to die on?
right.
Right. And I say that statement where you help filter and evaluate, man, is this really, is it really worth that much energy and time? Like that balance, like everybody don't have the same filter to say, nah, it ain't that serious. It,
Wow, yeah, yeah. And so we're talking about boundaries.
yeah.
When you said everybody doesn't have that filter to say it isn't that serious, everybody doesn't understand boundaries. Now, let's just say, where we grew up from, we understood certain boundaries where there was Beachmont, there was Warwick Lawns, there was not Aqua Vista, but Aqueduct. We understood understood the boundaries. Now, within those boundaries, what were we protecting? Our turf. You heard the turf wars and didn't own nothing, but trying to act like it's yours. So I honestly, Corinthian, when I look at young men now and I analyze it through the eyes of the four quarters, faith, family, friends, and finances, like, you know, we we're trying to persevere or trying to gain something because we feel that it was taken from us. So everybody has a chip on their shoulder that that was not there, that has been placed there subliminally, I would say. So yes, there are things that have happened to my forefathers that I might not have experienced in my day, but because I know it happened to them, I'm going to have that chip on my shoulder. But in doing so, I'm pretty much not letting anyone in. So when we talk about, like, when I just asked you, like, if you don't respect Cam Newton, who do you respect? Like, all the accolades that this man just had that you just read out, him just being there to help out the community, help out the kid, the platform that he has. Why wouldn't you respect him? Why would you think it would be okay to go to fight him at his event?
Yeah, but it goes back to me, like, maybe y'all can help us out. Why do we feel comfortable, very comfortable, disrespecting us? Like, it's us disrespecting us.
Yeah. I
like, why are we?
Do we
so
hate ourselves, Corinthian? I'm not saying, I don't want to cast that broad net, but do you think?
Well, we were taught to not, subliminally, subconsciously, overtly, everything black was bad. Like, if you look throughout history, you get a black mark, you get it. All that stuff has negative connotations.
Yeah.
As opposed to white, all that stuff is real, actually.
Yeah.
And there is generational trauma because of it. And it takes awareness to pull yourself. It takes awareness. It underscores the importance of fathers. Men matter in situations.
Yeah.
But there also has to be a code of conduct amongst ourselves. Like, it just does. I'm at the point now, because of where I'm in life, what I've learned, what I've studied for myself, what I've done my research on. Arthur, you couldn't pay me enough money at this point to get on TV and bash somebody on TV, on network TV, for anything. I'm not, you can't pay me to be that guy. You couldn't pay me. I would say, no, I'll say stuff like this. Now, I don't know that.
Yeah.
Man, you're not gonna get me to. No, I don't know. And then if I do know him, I'm gonna talk about, this is what I do know about him. I know he did. Yeah, you're not.
Because you're for the uplifting of our community.
I'm for uplifting. Period. I'm not gonna be the tear down person, right? And so I would say we need to look and watch who's tearing down. Because I'm trying to build stuff.
Corinthian, Bernie Mac, he did a joke, and this could be humorous to some, but thought provoking to others, or just outright, man, that's not a good joke. He said there was a white man, an Asian man, a Hispanic man, a black man. So an Asian man, Hispanic man, white man, black man. They were all in the car together, and they died. And and Bernie said, man, I know I'm not gonna make it in, and all the others were trying to say, man, they were trying to think of something that they could say to God to try to get in. And Bernie said, well, he did the only thing that he knew what to do. He said, so he told God, he asked God a question. He said, now, God, if you can't answer it, would you let me in? And he said, okay. And he said, the question that he asked was, when are all black people going to stick together? And God said, come on in, because he didn't know the answer. And I said, man,
that's deep. That's deep. That's deep. When we realize we're stronger together, but Arthur, that has to be taught.
Yeah.
And this is what I would say: you will not get the keys to liberation taught to you by someone that has historically been against you? Why
Yeah.
would I teach you to stick together?
No.
And so, but on the flip side of that, that's our fault. We left the responsibility to teach us to someone else that historically has not had a good track record. So what do you get? So you can only blame yourself. Now, to reverse the sad thing is to pull up from this, to reverse this horrible trend. It's gonna take a lot of work.
Yeah, and it's got to be work that we are willing to do.
Willing
We have to
to
be
do.
willing to see change and willing to restore, um, the house. And it is starts with obviously our faith. What are we believing and what are we trusting in? But then, the family, the familial unit. How is that looking? Are we satisfied with single parent households? Is that just something that is so normal, so common in our community that this is what we stand for?
Well, this is what I'll say two. I'll say two things, and this is a hot
Yeah,
button
yeah,
topic that you get different opinions and that sort of thing. And right, to reverse where we're at, we cannot reject correction.
mm,
Correction is important. Like I would say, everyone has a natural aversion to correction. But as you mature, you realize correction is necessary. Correction saved my life. Like, right.
yeah, yeah.
And then, do you remember the statement, "Have you no shame?"
Hmm. Yeah.
Arthur, sometimes shame got to be brought back. And
Yeah, I think it was
the,
called shamefacedness. Yeah.
yeah, like, and what I mean by that is, it should, there used to be, I would not disrespect my ex-wives by doing this, having people see me out
Yeah.
like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Arthur, it used to be, man, if you was gonna do whatever you was gonna do, whatever that may be, man, you got to go away from, like, you wouldn't sit in front of the house and do it. Like,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? You because you knew it was something you didn't even supposed to be doing, and you didn't want someone to see
Right.
doing it right.
Right.
Now I done seen we done got comfortable with a lot of stuff right out in the open, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we are at a comfortable level. It could even be reprobate. I mean, it could be a lot of things that have to happen. So I'm not counting out that a lot of the stuff that's going on now has to happen. It has to be
Yeah,
fulfilled.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
then there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds
yeah. Mm,
that we have that could have been avoided
yeah,
if we had, like you said, proper teaching, correction. So the men have to come back into the household. The men have to take their rightful place. Um,
yeah. And I would take it a step further. I would question any man that says otherwise.
yeah, yeah. I want to hear from the men. Like men. And you said we would never talk about. You would never talk about anybody, but I want to hear men talking about men and men issues as far as why aren't you in your child's life, or where are you, why didn't you marry her, like where have you been, like what have you been doing, why are you doing this, like I want men to now have some tough questions for other men. You know, because we're the only ones. We're not going to listen to women. Can't ask us these questions. Men have to do it. And I don't, you know, so I think we have to get to that. And you know, one of my coworkers, he was saying, Arthur, you need to do a fatherhood conference, man. Y'all, you just need to go ahead on and do one, or a men conference or something like that. But we really got to start asking, because we kind of like pity patting around it. Like we see it, we see what's going on, especially ones who are trying to do right and trying to do the right thing, and you know, trying to be there for their families, trying to be there for their spouses, things like that. The traditional route. But then we see a lot of stuff going on, but we really don't necessarily call it out. And I don't mean call it out, but like, we don't try to teach. Now on the football field, we you know, teach football, we teach basketball, we teach baseball. But then when it comes to like male issues, like rearing a home, husbandry, fatherhood, I would love to see us getting to the nuts and bolts of that argument.
Yeah.
And not out of a prideful thing, not that somebody is better than the other, but like, no, like, yo, why aren't you, hey, dude, like, why aren't you in your child's life? Like,
but
doesn't make any sense.
And what I'm realizing more and more.
Question. Will the Black woman allow for the Black man to come inside home and take lead? Well, yeah, if they're married, I think they would. but you know what I'm saying? So we've done a lot of things backwards. We've been putting the cart before the horse.
We've been doing things out of order.
Yeah, right? Out of order.
When you do things out of order, you get like, if you put the wash machine together in wrong reverse order, well, you might get water outside the machine. Like that's reality. We've been that's
you know, so there's going to have to be a lot of fixing, but then what about all the startups? You know, we're having children every day. So, you know, they going to grow and hopefully have families. Are they going to be okay with, okay, we didn't get married, but we're going to have kids? Or, you know, what are we thinking about?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. See, men are wired to lead. We've been designed to lead.
Wow.
Right. And I would say men are designed to solve problems. There are problems that present since the beginning of time. They've been heat. You need something to eat. These are all problems that had to get figured out and solved.
Yeah.
We're equipped to do it. Right. So what I'm saying, not even waiting for allowance, like it's things that men figure out. Men make a way, you know, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a whole, Arthur, if you get around respectable men, it's not a whole lot of excuse making.
Ooh.
Like I mean, there's all kind of problems. That's life. What we're going to do about, like, what's the strategy? And then it's the point I'm trying to make is men don't have all the answers, but then they go find, so I need to get some more help. I need to get some advice. To me, that's men, right? Boys don't do, like, boys got to learn, develop to get that. But men.
Let me ask you a quick, have we made any progress in our community, in the Black community? Has progress been made when it comes to family?
In some areas,
let me take a step back. So our grandparents' generation, you know, family, mother, father, children, obviously, when the boys got of age, they went out, joined the military, they farm, whatever, the women, homemakers until they got married. Boom, go from there. Now that version of the family that was not that prevalent. Yes, we had, people getting married and having kids and living in houses, things like that. But a majority, and I don't want to say a majority, but a lot of families are made up of, a father is somewhere and the mom is taking care of the kids. So, have we gotten better? Is single parenting, is that decreasing? Do you have any statistics? Or I don't have any statistics, and that's something we can look up. If somebody has it, they can help us out. But are we seeing that there's an increase in marriages now within the black population? Are we seeing that there's an increase of households and single family homes and things like that?
What we gonna probably have to do, because if this is the case, we'll be on here all
Yeah.
night. What we'll do, we probably need to do some research,
Yeah.
and then the next time we come back, have these tough conversations. Like it's tough conversations that we gotta have in our community. It's like we gotta look ourselves in the mirror, right? And then when you look yourself in the mirror, either you like what you see or you don't like what you see.
Yeah.
But what you gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those kind of conversations that we have to have. What's the standard?
The standard. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So that'll be something that we'll look for our next episode. But I do want to get some stats on that, because I want to see where we are, and that could be economically, family wise, education wise. I do want to look at some stats in that, and there might be somebody that's listening that has that. If you can send us where we should start. I know there's blackpeople.com and stats for black. So we can look at those kind of things as well.
Man, send us that and topics that you think are worth discussing.
Yeah,
because it's a dialogue, man. Y'all folks been rocking with us since we first started on a Saturday, just out the blue.
Out the blue, correct.
Saturday. So it's worthwhile dialoguing, but I want to get to the point where we move past talking, and I want to move to strategy and then implementation.
Implementation. I got that. Yeah. Corinthian, man, I'm proud to be black. And I really am, because I see the sincerity in our people, resilience, but I do see hurt, and I see holding on. Do you see much forgiveness, or we are such a forgiving people?
Oh, absolutely, we're forgiving people.
We are forgiving people.
Yes.
Now, are we forgiving of each other?
We're not. Yep. That's the thing. We not. And And then I would want to pose this question: should we be as forgiving to others? So I don't even want to get in that tonight, man.
That one will be one in itself. No, we can talk about forgiveness another day. But we are forgiving people, but we have to learn how to forget, especially the dynamic between the male and the female. There has to be some restoration that has to happen with us, because we're all we have. When it comes down to it, we're all we have, and if we're fighting amongst ourselves in that space, what can we do? So Corinthian, man, I'm not gonna keep you, man. I just got notification that my Warriors won tonight. They beat the Knicks. They beat the Knicks, so I'm excited about that because they are trending upward because they've had some rough months. Correct? It's been bad. They've blown 7 fourth quarter leads by 15 or more, and so I've been hurting, but I think they're trending upward. Are you rooting for anybody in particular this year?
Either I don't start watching NBA basketball
Oh,
until the playoffs, man. I don't even.
okay.
I see the ESPN feeds and stuff like
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
I don't sit down and watch none of them regular season games
Gotcha,
at
gotcha.
all.
Now, what about
Yeah,
the Super Bowl happened in February, and
yeah.
what were you happy with the outcome? And before you say that, overall, Black Americans have experienced a dramatic decrease in marriage rates over time, from 64% of Black men and 62% of Black women being married in 1950 to 38% of Black men and 33% of Black women being married in 2019. Yeah, so
Mm,
I thought I was correct in that there has been a decrease in marriage, which lets me know pretty much where we are on the family unit, that we are having multiple households because we still got to live somewhere. So a guy lives in an apartment by himself, and he might have a girlfriend, but they have no legal ties or anything like that. And then or he might have his kids, but he's not married to the child's mom or child's mothers, and we're creating uh, young children, and this pipeline just continues. That marriage is not a requirement, family is not a requirement, and yeah. My bad, Crane. You was about to tell me about your Super Bowl.
yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good game. The San Francisco 49ers could have won that game easily, but
Yeah,
they,
I think
yeah,
the muff kick, was that a punt or a kickoff?
it was a punt. Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest, and you know we'll see where he's at when he retires. I mean, he's gonna do whatever it takes to win a game. If he gotta pass it, he gonna pass it. If he gotta run, he gonna run. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a dynamic athlete, and
And I will say that I'm liking Patrick, and I didn't care who won. It could have been San
yeah,
Francisco or the Chiefs, but I did want to see Lamar Jackson get to the
of
Super Bowl,
of
man.
course, of
I
course.
did want to see that, man. So that kind of hurt me.
Of course, that hurt me as well. I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson every year. He's one of the most dynamic quarterbacks we have in the league um, uh, today, and I'm rooting for him. I want him to get there, um, and I want him to get there his way. He don't have. I don't care if he's a passer. I don't care if he's a runner. I don't
Mm.
care. Like sometimes when you listen to whatever, like it makes you change your game. Do what got you here.
Yes, yes, yeah. I would say that too. Yeah, do a guy. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Corinthian, man, I'm not gonna hold you up. Listen, we're on different time zones. So Corinthians in the Midwest. That's Midwest, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Midwest, Kansas, Midwest. I'm on the East Coast. We're gonna try to be back around that 8:30 time slot. It's 7:30. It'll be 8:30 my time, 7:30 his time. That's right, right?
Yep.
Or 8 8:30 your time, and then it'll probably be 9:30 my time.
Yes.
One
Yes.
of
Yes.
those
Yes.
two.
Yes.
We're gonna try, y'all. Put if you have any comments, suggestions, topics, or anything like that you would want us to discuss or to bring to the platform, please let us know. Please send me a message. We will be back on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So be on the lookout for the audio versions of our podcast. We're back for season 3. We're kicking it with the Kellys. We're going to bring you some insightful conversation, some collaborations with some other podcasters, and we're going to have a few guests on the show to talk about some hard topics or some funny topics or whatever's trending. We want to definitely touch on, but we also want everybody to be prosperous and the families to thrive, men being men, that your careers are thriving and everything like that. So be on the lookout for our next time on. Corinthian, you got anything for the people?
Keep swinging.
Hey, as we always say, just keep swinging. Just keep swinging. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming to Kick It with the Kellys. It's season 3. We're back and we are ready to go. Ready. We got some exciting news coming up too, Corinthian. We can tell the folks that later. But yeah, man, just keep swinging, man. Hey, man.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Happy Black History
Yes,
Month,
sir.
everybody. Happy leap year to everybody. And if you were born on the 29th, happy birthday. I think you're 9 years old or something like that. You 4 or something. I don't know how old you are. But listen, hey, thanks for kicking it with us. See you later. It's just some things you can't do no more. And some places you can't go no more. Some things you say you can't say anymore.
On Bourbon Street or not. But
Corinthian said this is oil. It's probably big. What is bigger than oil? This thing is diamonds. Like, it's like so massive.